The Shurangama Sutra, Volume 1, 41. When seen from the east, it would be to the west, and when seen from the south, it would be to the north. Just as such a tangible marker would be unclear, so too the location of the mind would be chaotic. Ananda said, "The middle I speak of is neither one of those. As Bhagavan has said, the eyes and forms are the conditions which create the eye consciousness. The eyes make discriminations, forms have no perception, but a consciousness is created between them. That is where my mind is." The Buddha said, "If your mind were between the eyes and their object, would such a mind's substance combine with the two or not? If it did combine with the two, then objects and the mind's substance would form a chaotic mixture. Since objects have no perception, while the substance has perception, the two would stand in opposition. Where could the middle be? If it did not combine with the two, it would then be neither the perceiver nor the perceived. Since it would lack both substance and nature, what would such a middle be like? Therefore, you should know that declaring the mind to be in the middle is an impossible statement." Ananda said to the Buddha, "Bhagavan, when I have seen the Buddha turn the Dharma wheel in the past with Mahamaudgayayana, Subhuti, Purna, and Shariputra, 4 of the great disciples, he often said that the nature of the mind, which is aware, perceives, and makes discriminations, is located neither within nor outside nor in the middle. It is not located anywhere at all. That very non-attachment to everything is what is called the mind. Therefore, is my non-attachment my mind?" The Buddha said to Ananda, "You say that the mind with its aware nature that perceives and makes discriminations is not located anywhere at all. Everything existing in the world consists of space, the waters, and the land, the creatures that fly and walk, and all external objects. Would your non-attachment also exist? If it did not exist, it would be the same as fur on a tortoise or horns on a rabbit. Just what would that non-attachment be? If non-attachment did exist, it couldn't be described as a negation. The absence of attributes indicates negation. Anything not negated has attributes. Anything with attributes exists. How could that define non-attachment? Therefore you should know that to declare that the aware, knowing mind is non-attachment to anything is an impossible statement." Then Ananda rose from his seat in the midst of the great assembly, uncovered his right shoulder, placed his right knee on the ground, respectfully put his palms together, and said to the Buddha, "I am the Tathagata's youngest cousin. I have received the Buddha's compassionate regard and have left the home life, but I have been dependent on his affection, and as a consequence have pursued erudition, and am not yet without outflows. I could not overcome the Kapila mantra. I was swayed by it and almost went under in that house of prostitution, all because I did not know how to reach the realm of reality. I only hope that Bhagavan, out of great kindness and sympathy, will instruct us in the path of shamatha, to guide the Chantikas and to overthrow the Mlekas." After he had finished speaking, he placed his 5 limbs on the ground and then, along with the entire great assembly, stood in anticipation, waiting eagerly and respectfully to hear the instructions. Then the Bhagavan radiated from his face various kinds of light, lights as dazzlingly brilliant as hundreds of thousands of suns. The Buddha realms quaked pervasively in 6 ways, and thus lands as many as atoms of universe throughout the 10 directions appeared simultaneously. The Buddha's stateliness and sacrosanctity caused all the realms to unite into a single one. In these realms all the great bodhisattvas, while remaining in their own countries, put their palms together and listened. The Buddha said to Ananda, "From beginningless time onward, all living beings and in all kinds of upside-down ways have created seeds of karma, which naturally run their course like the Aksha cluster. The reason that cultivators cannot accomplish unsurpassed bodhi, but instead reach the level of hearers or of those enlightened to conditions, or become accomplished in externalist ways as heaven dwellers, or as demon kings, or as members of the demons' retinues, is that they do not know the two fundamental roots, and so are mistaken and confused in their cultivation. They are like one who cooks sand in the hope of creating savory delicacies. They may do so for as many eons as there are atoms of universe, but in the end they will not obtain what they want. What are the two? Ananda, the first is the root of beginningless birth and death, which is the mind that seizes upon conditions, and that you and all living beings now make use of, taking it to be your own nature. The second is the primal pure substance of beginningless body nirvana. It is the primal bright essence of consciousness that can bring forth all conditions. Due to these conditions, you consider it to be lost. Having lost sight of that original brightness, although beings use it to the end of their days, they are unaware of it, and unintentionally enter the various destinies. Ananda, now you wish to know about the path of shamatha, with the hope of quitting birth and death. I will now question you further. Then the Tathagata raised his golden-colored arm and bent his 5 webbed fingers as he asked Ananda, "Do you see?" Ananda said, "I see." The Buddha said, "What do you see?" Ananda said, "I see the Tathagata raise his arm and bend his fingers into a fist of light, which dazzles my mind and my eyes." The Buddha said, "What do you see it with?" Ananda said, "The members of the Great Assembly and I each see it with our eyes." The Buddha said to Ananda, "You have answered me by saying that the Tathagata bends his fingers into a fist of light, which dazzles your mind and eyes. Your eyes are able to see. But what is the mind that is dazzled by my fist?" Ananda said, "The Tathagata is asking where the mind is located. Now that I use my mind to search for it thoroughly, I propose that precisely that which is able to investigate is my mind." The Buddha exclaimed, "Hey, Ananda, that is not your mind." Startled, Ananda leapt up from his seat, stood, put his palms together, and said to the Buddha, "If that is not my mind, what is it?" The Buddha said to Ananda, "It is your perception of false appearances based on external objects which causes your true nature to be deluded, and has caused you from beginningless time to your present life to take a thief for your son, to lose your eternal source, and to undergo transmigration." Ananda said to the Buddha, "Bhagavan, I am Buddha's favorite cousin. It is because my mind loved the Buddha that I was led to leave the home life. With my mind I not only make offerings to the Tathagata, but also in passing through lands as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges River, to serve all Buddhas and good wise advisers, and in marshalling great courage to practice every difficult aspect of the Dharma, I always use my mind."